So here we go. You guys need capture age, which is coming. Here we go. Okay, so regarding the maps, I would say that Maiar is not lucky with a hill just in the front of the town. So that can be scary in case Promi managed to, not Promi, Pharaon managed to have more units and can attack Maiar in its town. But Maiar does have a Edge Forest very close to the TC. And overall I would say that Pharaon does have a better map. The city, oh, this is Aztec. Okay. It's definitely a sexy civilization for both. And in fact, I think that I don't know if Zemax is checking this tournament, but if it does, it would be great to have a new version of Barbarian, an official one, I mean, for the round 3. Okay, it looks like Maiar did have a better start. This because it has half a villager more than its opponent. And Maiar is faster in researching Feudal Age. And with the same amount of villagers, Pharaon is 1 minute late compared to Maiar. So, Maiar will go for skirmishers, of course. It looks to be the same for Pharaon, because I don't see any mining camp close to the gold. So that's a good point for Pharaon. And Maiar, which has a military population advantage, is the first attacking its opponent. We've got already 4 skirmishers, 6 skirmishers to defend for Pharaon. None of the guys does have already fletching. Maiar does have to retreat, I think. Oh, and let's see what's going on with the heal. The heal advantage, which can be taken by Pharaon quite fast now. Okay, Pharaon does have fletching at this point. Maiar doesn't. And this attack is pretty risky for Maiar. But it managed to win the battle. Okay, it does have fletching eventually. and the game is pretty close. A small advantage for Maiar at this point, which has 3 more villagers than its opponent. Well, something I forgot to mention is the fact that if Maiar win 4-0 versus Pharaon, at least he is qualified, but he will get the second position of the group because Tribal won 3-1 versus Maiar. So Tribal will get the first position and Maiar the second. Actually, Maiar is in a good position. It's very close to reach castle, to research castle, if that's the case. And despite the tower, Maiar is able to maintain the pressure. Okay, it's eventually retreating. The time maybe to get the elite skirmishers. Maybe we can see some eagles. It's actually not the case for Maiar, which prefers to stay with the skirmishers as Aztec. Pharaon should train some eagles. Yep, the first eagle is coming. And we've got Bodkin arrows both sides. Well, already 4 TCs for Maiar. He does have a clear advantage even in the civilian population. And Pharaon definitely needs Mangonel at least, but I don't see any siege workshop at this point. And I think that against Maiar, the best chance for Pharaon is the 1v1 and the 2v2, but actually Maiar is just wrapping in the 1v1. So it's already turning fine for Maiar. 1-0. A deserved victory. Congratulations. It's especially well done because Pharaon won the 1v1 against Tribal and it won the 2v2, so the score between Pharaon and Tribal made me think that maybe Pharaon turns to be better than Tribal in 1v1, so that's why I was thinking that Pharaon could win this 1v1 versus Maiar. So let's go for the 4v4. I think that in team games, Pharaon can potentially have at least one flank crushing. It happens sometimes, so that can be a good way for Pharaon to get a victory against Maiar. It's possible, but it's not triggered that often. As if I'm right, Pharaon did have one flank thrashing Tribal in the 4v4, but Tribal eventually won the game, so thrashing is definitely not a guarantee to win the game anyway. Okay, so we've got Persian, Huns, Byzantine and Saracen. For Pharaon we've got Saracen and Persian as flank, Huns and Byzantine as pocket. And for Maiar we've got Persian plus Huns pocket. That's pretty strong civilizations, at least because it does have paladins. And Byzantine is definitely a good civilization for Maiar as flank, of course. So it's gonna be versus the Persian. Okay, so green is a bit late. Well, not that late anyway. It's under 12 minutes. That's okay. Purple is gonna go for pure skirmishers, and same for red. So Maiar was designed for team games, so it's supposed to be his strongest setting. Okay, purple managed to have more skirmishers than the Byzantine opponent. Let's see if it can take any advantage from this. It looks like purple is winning the battle, the first one. Good direction here from the villagers. Okay, like it happens the 1v1, the battle is really close in the feudal age. Oh, interesting, both of the Maiar pockets went for 2 stable each. And yellow does have the good idea to go for camels. That's a small advantage of the Byzantine player. And this is already a edge domination each side for Maiar. Well, red does have a lot of villagers on the gold. Maybe because Steel managed to destroy one lumber camp. That way red doesn't have anymore the access to the wood. Well, regarding the military population between the two AIs, it's clearly at this point at the advantage of Maiar. Pharaon tends to try booming, and Orange managed to have actually 90 civilian population, which is way more than the opponents, but it might be not enough. Green is attempting to attack the pocket. And Orange should research Imperial Age soon now, but let's see if it can defend. It's gonna be a 1v2. Or actually a 1v1, because Grey is not helping Green. But Green does have already pikemen. Okay, I think that Orange might die fast, too fast. And the game is turning a 2 versus 3 at this point, blue being hurt a lot. And orange is scoring for paladins. Well, eventually blue is fine. It's actually building a 4th TC. It's not attacked anymore by yellow. Okay, so we've got paladins from orange. Maybe it can save purple just at time. Let's see. But at the same time, Teal is already damaging the yellow's economy. Where is the military of the yellow player, is the question. Oh, and Grey is attacking the orange economy. And blue did rebuild pretty fast, which was like 30 population 5 minutes ago. Well, Maiar is doing a great job. We can be surprised by the fact that none of the pocket has already paladins at this point. Okay, so it looks like Maiar is actually winning 2-0. Well, orange is actually doing well, I would say. Fortunately, yellow does have some Armelons, because at the same time still does have paladins plus heavy cannons. Okay, I think that yellow is eventually losing. Orange is gonna be one all alone against 3 players. 4 players because, well, green does have so many units at this point. And it's upsetting to see that neither red nor purple did try to reboot in a safe position. It is supposed to build a TC in a safe place, but I think that it never had the economy to build a new TC anyway. Okay, so let's go for the 3v3. And at this point, Maiar just need to win one of the last 2 games to be qualified. The score can still be a tie 2-2. In that case, we would have an ultimate 2 versus 2 to define the winner. So everything is still possible between Pharaon and Maiar. In the case Pharaon wins the last 2 games. So let's see. Hello Martin, nice to see you here. Okay, so Maiar, Pharaon, 3v3. Here we go. So at the left of the map we've got Pharaon, at the right we've got Maiar. The civilizations are Persian, Korean, Goths. We've got one Maiar flank Goths, the other Persian, and the pocket is going to be the Korean. Not sure Armelon is happy with the pocket. Other side, it's fair enough because it's the Korean Pharaon pocket. So no civilization advantage for any of those 2 allies here, and we've got Goths versus Persian each side. So from what I know about Maiar, there is no specific coordination between flank and pocket, so the pocket might just focus on the closest enemy, regardless what's happening in the other side. And it looks like Maiar pocket is closer to red than purple, so red might be 1v2, I guess. And I think that Teal is gonna be 1v2 against purple and yellow. And the Teal and red has a cluster researching feudal age. It looks like okay, blue is a bit late. And once again it's gonna be pure skirmishers for Pharaon against pure skirmishers for Maiar at least. Okay, good reaction from the blues villagers. Okay, at this point purple did have a small advantage on its opponents. And okay, it's a moment in which red should be hurt a lot. It's 1v2. Okay, and yellow gives his support to red. And in the other side I would say that purple is actually in a good position. Oh, and we've got one offensive tower made by purple, but here we've got a good reaction from the enemy's villagers. And purple is trying to build a tower once again. Oh, interesting. Green is eventually targeting purple this time. That can definitely be a good movement. Just when purple is researching Castle Age. Actually, teal is late. And red is eventually back in the battle against blue. Regarding the score, it looks like Maiar does have a solid advantage, but let's see. We've got eventually a bunch of knights coming from yellow. It definitely can be a good movement regarding the fact that teal is still in feudal age. But at the same time, red is hurt a lot. Well, yellow does have the civilian population advantage. As long as it's not attacked by the opponent till the Imperial Age, I think that yellow can be okay. But it depends on the time red can survive. Well, I would have liked to see yellow attacking green, but it's not the case. Yellow is eventually targeting blue, I guess. Anyway, blue does have the units to counter the knight. It shouldn't be hurt too much. And yellow is researching Imperial Age, so that can be important. And teal is eventually fine with 3 TCs soon. So yellow goes for war wagons and halberdiers, probably. It does have actually a bunch of skirmishers, pikemen, which can be definitely useful in case blue is targeting him. It's actually the case. Okay, bombard, defensive bombard towers. Let's see if it can be useful. Well, the score is actually close, but green is researching Imperial Age. Okay, that's funny to see that purple for some reason just crossed the whole map, but it's eventually targeting the good player, I mean the teal player. Okay, so as expected, we've got a combination of pike, halberdiers plus war wagons, and yellow is trying to take the map control, but at the same time blue is coming, and we can expect a bunch of cavaliers, of course, from green, and halberdiers, exactly. Oh, blue is researching Imperial Age. Same for purple, that's a good point. Purple, which is Persian, so we can expect Paladins maybe, if it's not hurt too much before it gets that precious upgrade. And Pharaon is taking the lead in this war. For the first time since a pretty long time, I would say. I think that Maiar did have the top score during almost the whole Castle Age. And we've got the Elite War Wagons, which is definitely a good point for Pharaon. At this point I think that if Purple can take the full advantage of being Persian in Imperial Age, that can work for Pharaon maybe. He does have actually the Cavaliers, with few upgrades which are missing. At least I think that this game is probably the best one from this set. Very close. Okay, we've got Paladins for purple. Eventually Paladins. But at this step... Okay, blue does have very few military production. But at least blue is getting the paladin, so maybe blue can become strong now. And Till is dying for the third time in this game. Oh, I'm surprised to see Elite War Wagons from Maiar. I thought that as Korean it just would go for Armelon. It's a pretty good point for Maiar. And I would like to see Pharaon slinging red to help him to boom. At least red definitely need to build some new town centers. But well, maybe Pharaon can win without the help of red anyway. Blue does have a good defense with 3 castles. And he might be in a good position to definitely kill red. That would be pretty important, I think, at this stage of the game for Maiar. And Till is actually trying to recover with a bunch of TCs clearly protected. They behind green, and Maiar is back in this game. Okay, we've got a second TC for red, but it's actually coming way too late. And it's definitely not in a safe position anyway. Okay, I previously noticed that Pharaon tends to be a bit weak in Imperial Age. It appeared clearly versus Tribal, it looks to be almost the case here versus Maiar. He did have a good advantage at a certain point in the early Imperial Age, but like it happened against Tribal, Maiar is actually recovering pretty well and can potentially win the game at this point. And I think that if the game lengths a bit more long, we could see Teal definitely coming back in this game. It's nice to see that Maiar eventually know how to play as Pharaon. And overall, I would say that the Korean did a good job. Both sides. So 100 population for Teal, and it is in Imperial Age. So we are waiting for a bunch of Oscars maybe. Actually we've got some Alvaliers. So it looks to be GG at this point. Well, it was already the case, like, let's say 5 minutes ago. But Yellow is overall doing a good job. So, after this loss, we already can say that Maiar is qualified. So Maiar will play Barbarian in the semi-final. Tribal will play against Yggdrasil. Promi finish at the 3rd place and Pharaon at the 4th. But anyway, we'll have an ultimate game 2v2 just after this one, just to see if Pharaon can get eventually one victory versus Maiar. And it's not a surprise that Maiar tends to be better than Pharaon, especially in the way the pockets play. So in fact, Armelon, you have a job for the semi-final. You have to defeat Barbarian. That's exactly what Tribal didn't manage to do in the Davis Cup Season 4. So it's the turn of Maiar to try it. It would be great, well, let's have a dream, Armelon. It would be great to have Tribal versus Maiar in the final of the Davis Cup 5. Because Maiar and Tribal are the two last AIs having won at least one of the two previous tournaments, and they won together a tournament which was Blame Your Mate. It was against Zeord and Barbarian in the final, and his side Tribal won the 1v1 Arabia tournament. So let's have this dream. But keep in mind that it's gonna be a best of 7, so at least Maiar definitely needs to get 4 victories over 7 games against Barbarian. It's never easy. Okay, so let's go for the last one. I would say that's a good point. If Maiar wins 4-0 against Pharaon, it would give less regrets for Promiscuity, because regardless the score against Eagle Revenge, Promi would have been eliminated in the case Tribal and Maiar win 4-0 each their matches. So we've got Byzantine plus Saracen, okay. Byzantine versus Byzantine in the south, and Saracen War in the north. We maybe can see one Pharaon thrashing. It would be great to see it versus Maiar, to see how Maiar react to a thrash. But it doesn't happen that often anyway. Okay, so red did find its opponents, and yellow is close to find its closest enemy too, if that's the case. Oh, red didn't find one boar, which was easy to find, I would say. Okay, it looks like yellow and blue will meet each other. Well, green is doing actually a good job on red, but it looks like red recovered the military population. Oh, yellow is actually getting a clear advantage, and looking at the advantage we can see potentially a tower. Let's see. Yep, the tower is gonna be built, not in the best position I would say, but it can maybe disturb Maiar anyway. And okay, it will build Palisade. Well, other side, what's happening? Red eventually counter-attack green, taking a clear advantage, and we've got one tower too. Okay, that second tower is clearly in a better position. And it looks like Pharaon is probably gonna win this one. Well, that tower is great because it was the second gold, the main gold being just taken by yellow. Okay, so at this point, good luck to Maiar to gas her gold. So it's gonna be hard. And red is gonna come back as soon as it does have the elite skirmishers. Okay, interesting to notice that both of the sides were won by Pharaon this time. It confirms my feelings that Pharaon can definitely win the 1v1 and 2v2 against Maiar. At least not always, but it definitely can do it. Okay. At this point, Maiar should resign soon now. Well, I'm really happy to see Maiar in the semi-final, and besides this, I'm happy that Pharaon managed to win at least one game against Maiar. GG.